Welcome back to another edition of Hertfordshire Web Design's podcast. Just wanted to say a quick hello to all my listeners. This is just a quick retort with regards to what Hertfordshire Web Design gets asked quite a few times, and the most important issue is with regards to current clients and even future clients is what happens when somebody actually says that they can do better. Meaning that with regards to the way that we deal with clients, that what happens is they tend to obviously check the market, compare and contrast between whether you are the right person to go with or the right person to stay with. And of course, always that and you'd be actually mad not to say that you can do better than the competition. It's one of those situations where a client gets themselves lost in the quagmire that is looking for the right web designer, web developer, SEO and whatnot. And the way that I see it is that with regards to clients that come to me, that my initial answer is always going to be, well, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can compare. And the honest answer is really, more often than not, it's better to actually test the situation individually for future clients. They tend to want to look at the full aspects of web design and web development. And of course they have had history with regards to previous clients, or maybe this is the first time they've actually come across the issue of looking for a decent web designer and web developer. For SEO purposes, it's a little bit more of a grey area, because it's one of those things that just doesn't have an immediate answer, because it's one of those things where it's part of a waiting game. But for web design and web development, it's one of those things where it's to do with contracts, and it's to do with agreements that we have. That's the way that we normally set ourselves up, is that we just basically say that this is an open agreement that allows you to focus on what we can do, and then you can compare with what the other the competitor can do as well. And of course they're going to say that, you know, with our current clients, is that of course they're going to turn around to me and just say, well, this is what this company provides, can you do better, or why is it that you can't do this? And more often than not, we are already doing the tasks that the competition are doing, and we are working all hours in order to actually make your website the best that it can be. With regards to the design agreement, with regards to the development agreement, we always try and push ourselves further to the way that it should be designed. And one of the trickiest part is to actually make sure that all sides understand exactly what the circumstances are. Then the circumstances usually are that we are dealing with the full spectrum of web design and web development from ground up, the hosting, development and so on. That some companies don't just do the hosting, they also do the development as well, they do the domain registration, and we look after the entire spectrum. But if a competitor tends to undercut Hertfordshire Web Design, then the only way that that would happen is if they've immediately said, yes, of course we can do better. And this leads to the client wanting to jump ship and move on to someone else. And you know, this has only happened to us maybe on a couple of occasions, and it's one of those things where we wish them the best. But the problem is that by the time they've actually signed up to the new competitor, that they've realised that it's not exactly as strong as Hertfordshire Web Design, it's not exactly as great as it should be, and by then it's too late. And of course the client is always going to want to come back, possibly, and again, if it's an SEO based environment, it's very, very tricky for Google to actually see the backwards and forth of the domain traveling from one hosting company to the other as a good thing, because it just seems like it's going from one server to another and back again. Again, it's one of those things where you have to look at the type of contract that we provide compared to another contract, exactly how well that we actually maintain your domain, your brand, and your development. It's very important that the SEO side of things is reported constantly, because that's why we keep a tight rein on the development of your website, how well it's doing online. And that being said, that sort of wraps up everything. But again, don't be misled by people who say that they can do better than us. At some point, there will be points where they will do better than us. But again, in the long run, what it actually works out to is equating, looking at the actual agreements, looking at the contracts that we provide, the effect that we have in looking after your domain, looking after your brand. And there is always some sort of compromise with what can be done close to it, and we'll be happy to sit with you and understand exactly what you'd like to do. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this retort. But again, it's one of those things that you shouldn't really be fooled by people that say that they can do better. It's not just that. Look deeper. Look at exactly what we can provide. Look at the full range of development tools that we can actually provide, and then see if it's comparable with the competition. That's pretty much it, really. It's a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully you'll sign up with us, get in contact with us through Hertfordshire Web Design's own website. If not, give us a call, and we'll be happy to talk to you. Like, subscribe, and follow. Hopefully more will be coming up very soon. Thank you very much.